As Facebook, FB, moves down a path toward creating alternate forms of reality and its so called Metaverse, the social media giant reportedly is planning to put a new face forward by changing its name. Facebook stock edged up slightly on the news. Today, we will give you Facebook stock analysis with a new name, Metaverse. Number 11. Is a name change in the works? A report by The Verge late Tuesday said Facebook name change could be announced next week at Facebook Connect, the company's annual conference on virtual reality and augmented reality. The Verge cited a source with direct knowledge of the matter. Facebook declined comment. Facebook stock inched up 0.2%, closing at $340.78 on the stock market today. Company name changes are not uncommon. Google became Alphabet, Google. IBM was once International Business Machines. Philip Morris became Altria, MO. Snapchat, Snap, rebranded to Snap. Name changes often occur when a company wants to present an image beyond what their current name represents. Alphabet repositioned from a search engine company to a holding company for its various businesses, such as YouTube, Android, and Google. Name changes also come when a company wants to escape a business practice with a deadly image, as Altria did with cigarette maker Philip Morris. Number 10. Facebook stock, reasons for name change. The name change comes at a time when Facebook stock is under intense fire, due partly to Washington politicians who want to break the company up for alleged monopoly practices. Facebook today is built around its social media website, as well as Messenger and the WhatsApp mobile communications platform. It's also known for the photo and video sharing app called Instagram. In the last several years, however, Facebook stock has invested heavily in virtual reality and augmented reality as it builds Chief Executive Mark Zuckerberg's vision of the Metaverse. Zuckerberg has been talking about the Metaverse since July. Microsoft, MSFT, and NVIDIA, NVDA, are also talking up the Metaverse. Sci-fi novelist Neil Stephenson coined the Metaverse term in 1992. It described a future dystopian world of virtual reality, social media, the internet, and other technologies. Number 9. Facebook invests $50 million in Metaverse. Facebook has said it's investing $50 million toward building a Metaverse, where people can meet in a shared 3D virtual environment to conduct business, play games, and engage in other forms of activities. It incorporates both virtual reality and augmented reality technologies. Recently, Facebook promoted Andrew Bosworth from head of virtual and augmented reality to chief technology officer. No one company will own and operate the Metaverse, Nick Clegg, Facebook's vice president of global affairs, wrote in a blog post. Bringing this to life will take collaboration and cooperation across companies, developers, creators, and policymakers. Facebook stock has been consolidating for the last 7 weeks. Number 8. Meta stock. Not only is Facebook's name changing, but so too is its ticker symbol. The company will now trade under the stock symbol MVRS, effective December 1. Meta will also overhaul the way that it reports its financial results, comprising 2 separate segments dubbed Family of Apps and Reality Labs, starting in Q4. Investors cheered the move, sending the stock 1.5% higher in response to the name change. The rebranding of Facebook into a metaverse-focused entity comes as Donald Trump's new social media empire, Trump Media and Technology Group, is poised to launch. Shares of Digital World Acquisition Group, the SPAC entity that will bring Trump's company public, soared 12% on the day, showing investors are not spooked by the competition. Number 7. What to expect from Facebook's quarter. We expect FB to beat the consensus estimates for revenues and earnings. The company has reported better than expected revenue and earning figures in each of the last 4 quarters. In the first half of the year, the company saw growth as daily active users continued to increase, and the advertising business revenue grew as the appeal of online advertising continued. We expect the same factors to drive the third quarter FY 2021 results as well. Our forecast indicates that Facebook's valuation is around $402 per share, which is 18% above the current market price of $341. Number 6. Revenues expected to be ahead of consensus estimates in Q2. Facebook's revenues for full year 2020 were $86 billion, up 21% YOY, with advertising segment primarily driving the growth as a focus on online advertising continues to be a tailwind for the company. Trefis estimates FB's fiscal Q3 2021 revenues to be around $30.76 billion, above the $29.57 billion consensus estimate. We expect the advertising segment to continue to drive the results. Number 5. EPS likely to beat the consensus estimates. FB's Q3 2021 earnings per share is expected to be $3.47 per Trefis analysis, above the consensus estimate of $3.19. The company is continuously working towards improving margins, as witnessed in the first half of 2021, where operating margin was recorded at 43% compared to 33% in the same period of the previous year. Altogether, the company is likely to report an EPS of around $13.94 in FY 2021. Number 4. Stock price estimate 18% above the current market price. Going by our Facebook's valuation, an EPS estimate of $16.01 in FY 2022 and a PE multiple of 25.1x in fiscal 2021 translates into a price of $402, which is 18% above the current market price of around $341. Further, our analysis of Google versus Facebook finds Facebook to be a better investment option. Also, Facebook's peer comparison summarizes how the company fares against peers on metrics that matter. Number 3. How to analyze Meta. Despite these many troubles, a strong case might be made that the long-term outlook for the company remains positive. Such a case depends upon how the company and its stock are analyzed. With this guide, beginning investors should get a better idea of how to navigate through potential pitfalls and what to look for when considering investing in Meta, FB, and similar stocks. Venturing into the stock market can be frightening, but every seasoned investor was once a beginner. Before buying any stock, investors should perform due diligence to ensure that the company and stock have the potential to perform well. Due diligence can include different forms of analysis, the most basic being fundamental analysis and technical analysis. In fundamental analysis, the investor evaluates the intrinsic value of the stock by considering the overall economy and industry conditions as well as the finances and management of the company. Technical analysis uses statistics that include the stock's past prices and volume. Rather than looking at a company's intrinsic value, technical analysis focuses on identifying patterns and trends in the stock's current and future price movements. Fundamentally, investors should research the company's financials. These can be found in its latest SEC filings. The company's website should have an investor relations page. Financial sites like our Investopedia also offer exceptionally useful company-specific information. Number 2. Doing due diligence. To make a case for buying Meta stock, the investor should analyze ad revenue growth, including mobile growth, usage trends, risks to operations, and outlook and guidance. Also look at the trends for profit margins, total revenue, and monthly active users, MAU. Are these numbers going up, down, or sideways? After doing one's due diligence and feeling comfortable with the decision to buy the stock, the investor should determine if the current price is an appropriate entry point. Fundamental analysts calculate valuation metrics to determine if the stock is undervalued, when the entry price is most attractive, or overvalued. Investors may want to wait for the price to come down before buying the stock. The price-earnings ratio, PE ratio, is a common valuation metric, but there are many others. The PE ratio for Meta is 30.5 as of January 21, 2021. In isolation, that doesn't tell the investor much. However, if it's compared to historical or industry PE, it can determine how the stock is valued relative to its trends. Another way to see if the stock price is at a good entry point is to look at its historical stock chart trends. Technical analysis looks at various aspects of price and volume to see if the stock is at a desirable level for entry. Number 1. Is Facebook stock worth buying? According to its fourth quarter earnings announcement, the largest social media company in the world continued to grow larger, with Facebook's daily active users, referred to as DAUs, increasing 11% year over year to 1.84 billion on average. Meanwhile, Facebook's monthly active users, or MAUs, increased by 12% through the end of 2020, finishing the year at 2.8 billion. While Facebook doesn't break out specific user numbers for Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger, it does consolidate user numbers for those services along with Facebook itself in its Family Daily Active People, or DAP, and Family Monthly Active People, known as MAP, measurements. Both enjoyed a strong fourth quarter, with DAP increasing 15% year over year to 2.6 billion people, while MAP increased 14% to 3.3 billion people. Facebook is growing a lot slower than Snap, and it faces many of the same headwinds. Do let us know in the comments, are you willing to buy this stock? Please subscribe to the Stock Advisor. Thanks for watching.